Hi everyone, my name's Adam and I work at Twinkl, and today I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming changes to the NQT Induction programme starting the 1st of September 2021. I'm going to go through 10 changes you need to be aware of for this upcoming September. There is a bit of a change undertaking at the moment, and the guidance came out on the 26th of March from the government, giving more details to the changes to the induction process for NQTs and moving to the new induction process called the ECT Induction programme. So during today's video, I'll go through the 10 key changes you need to be aware of going into the next academic year and moving forward if you've about to qualify for QTS, or if you've already qualified with QTS and have not yet completed your NQT induction period. Point number 1. The main thing here is that the term NQT is being removed, and we're going to be moving to the new terminology of an ECT, standing for Early Career Teacher. The second point is that the ECT induction period, whilst the NQT induction period was 1 year long, ECT induction period is moving to a 2-year programme. The third point is same as your NQT induction period. The ECT induction period will now still include ECT time out of the classroom. In the first year, you'll be entitled to 10% off timetable, usually a morning or an afternoon. This can be negotiated with the schools, however, if it's going to be broken up into different segments. And during your second year in your induction programme, this will drop down to 5% off timetable. You will still also be entitled to the usual 10% time after the classroom for planning, preparation and assessment. Point number 4 that you need to know about is that the ECT induction programme is underpinned and supported by the Early Career Framework. Early Career Framework, you can find lots of information about this if you go on site, but essentially the Early Career Framework has been written by educational scholars, and it is underpinning everything that trainees need to know about and what sort of skill sets they need to be aware of, pedagogy, ethos, and as well as breaking down the teaching standards into small incremental steps to help you evidence and help you make progress and demonstrate that you evidence you've met the standards. Point number 5 is that they've introduced the role of a mentor. Now, point number 6 is going to be talking about the induction tutor. Your mentor is different to a tutor and new to this sort of induction process, as your mentor is going to be the friendly person in the room for you. It's going to be someone you're going to go to for support, advice, and to help mentor you through the induction process. So maybe you can set targets from your induction period assessments, and your mentor is going to be there to help you discuss and how you're going to meet these targets and evidence you've met them. Point number 6 is the induction tutor. Your induction tutor is going to be the person responsible for assessing and making sure you know exactly where you're up to in evidence you've met the standards. Number 7 is that there are going to be 2 formal assessment points, one at the end of your first academic year, usually in term 3, and one at the end of the induction process, at the end of the 2 years, term 6. There'll be formal induction periods where you will find out exactly where you're up to meeting standards and developing next steps. Number 8 is if you are a current NQT holding QTS and you've completed at least 1 full term of the 1-year induction cycle, you have got until the 1st of September 2023 to complete the rest of the 1-year induction period. Otherwise, all your work so far will be expunged and you'll have to start again on the 2-year induction cycle. If you are a current NQT who has not yet done at least 1 full term, you will have to start the 2-year cycle as of the 1st of September 2021. Point number 9 is if you are looking for part-time employment, you have to do the equivalent of 2 full school years in the classroom during your induction period. So if you're doing half the amount of hours on a part-time contract, it should hypothetically take you 4 years. There are some discrepancies in the documentation saying that if you have evidence, say after 3.5 years you've met all the standards, the assessing body can move things forward and allow you to pass sooner, but that would have to be negotiated between yourselves and your assessing body. And the last point is not a very nice one, it's point number 10, but it is important you are aware this is a stark change. It's very clearly outlined now that if you do not pass adequately the end of this ECT induction period, that you will not be allowed to continue to teach, you will not be allowed to train, and your name will be added to a list of persons on the Teaching Aid Registered Agency to say that you've not passed your induction process and you won't be allowed to be lawfully employed as a teacher in England. This is a stark change. It's quite a troublesome one, I imagine. However, it is important you are aware of this, and the entire mechanism is built to make sure you do succeed. So just go into it so you know what is going on. If you'd like any more information or to read the guidance in full, I will be including a link down below to our blog on the Twinkl site that breaks down all the guidance into palatable form, because it's quite a meaty document, and there are links at the end of the blog itself to the official guidance if you want to have a read for yourself. If you need help, reach out to Twinkl Trainee Teachers. We are not just helping trainees, we're going to continue with our supportive program of support, advice and guidance from trainees all the way through to the end of your ECT period. We're going to make sure we're helping everyone through this entire change. So if you need anything, please do reach out to us. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.